Hi friends, thanks for joining me today. I'm going to be sharing a little bit about Native InterVarsity as well as my role in it. The mission of InterVarsity is to reach every corner of every campus by the year 2030. And just a little bit about myself. I'm originally from the village of Unalakleet, and I'm a campus staff minister at the University of Alaska Anchorage and Alaska Pacific University. Here is a picture of Unalakleet, the village where I grew up in, and the Unalakleet Evangelical Covenant Church, where my mom would send us to Sunday school. And in the summer, we spent our time subsisting off the land at our fish camp. But a special treat was always being able to go to the Covenant Bible Camp up the North River. So that's where I learned a lot about Jesus and really fell in love with him at such a young age. So we started planting this chapter last year, and we've just completed our first school year. Here we've got just a picture with Bill Pagran, who does a local ministry here in Alaska. He does a lot of suicide prevention and just travels to the villages and is really inspiring. So he shared a story about how his son Rain went to college in the lower 48, and one of their agreements was that Rain would find a community that would help him get his relationship with Jesus back on track. So what Rain found was a local InterVarsity chapter that was able to help with that relationship. And so it's always inspiring to hear just stories of how InterVarsity has helped Alaskans, even though if we're just replanting here. There are several chapters throughout the United States. Unfortunately, Alaska has one of the highest rates of suicide, and our demographic is one of the most underserved demographics on campus. So really what we're trying to do is just provide a community where it's okay to praise and worship God, to follow Jesus, to get in his word, and really create a community where it's exciting to come back to school because there's a group of people who are cheering for you and they're there for you. Unfortunately, a lot of students who come from rural Alaska, once they go back home for Christmas, their first semester, they just don't come back. There's a pretty high adjustment period from rural Alaska to urban Alaska, so we try to ease that process. So we love doing Bible studies, evangelism, discipleship, and really InterVarsity is a multi-ethnic preview of what heaven is going to be like. My focus is with Alaska Native students, but everybody is welcome. We're hoping to eventually do missions trips to rural Alaska one day, hopefully by at least year 5. And really just encouraging students to finish school, stay in school, and continue to walk the good road with Creator Sets Free, Jesus. And just a little bit about InterVarsity. So there are over 1 million alumni who work in every field you can imagine. And I know that it's not big in Alaska, but there are actually a lot of Alaskans who have heard of this ministry before. For example, my music teacher at Alaska Christian College, she was a part of InterVarsity when she went to school, and then she went into ministry and ended up in Alaska. Now she doesn't live in Alaska, but it's still just a testimony that God uses all kinds of ministries to reach his people, and we're all a big family. There are about 2,500 different colleges and universities throughout the United States, And our goal for 2030 is to reach every corner of every campus, and we're not depending on our ministry alone. We're working in collaboration with other ministries, as long as there's some form of outreach on campus, that helps us accomplish that goal. So, and as far as Alaska goes, I'll be at UAA and APU, and we're hoping to find volunteers eventually in the rural areas like Nome and Bethel and Dillingham, Juneau. And I do have a colleague in Fairbanks, the Taylor family. So the University of Alaska, Anchorage, has a student body population of about 12,000 people. And only about 1,000 to 1,200, about 10% is Alaska Native or Indigenous. So there is a large student population that's just not being reached and being overlooked. And we're starting our planting efforts at Alaska Pacific University this coming semester as well. And then here's just a picture of our Lingonberry Fellowship. Everything that I do throughout the year as far as subsistence goes, I get to invite students to come alongside and learn and really just depend on the goodness that God provides through his creation. So it's, in a sense, it's a form of worship when we do these fellowships together. Part of our strategy was to help 25 students to start to follow Jesus. A lot of our students already know Jesus and are following him, but some of them don't. And we just keep an open space for people of all backgrounds, and everybody's welcome. So we're hoping to do 2 new small groups this coming semester and take a group of at least 12 students from Alaska to the Would Jesus Eat Fry Bread conference in November. So I just like to invite everybody to pray. I am looking for a intercessory prayer team. It would be 3 to 4 people who would take about an hour of their time each month to specifically pray for me and Native InterVarsity, and just that God's will be done, and that he continues to shape and mold this ministry. And give all the glory to God. And then we also offer people to invest in this campus. There are different types of gifting levels, but I just ask everybody that I meet with to pray about what God puts on their heart to give. This year I've got a ministry budget I need to raise of $29,000. And I'm not even close to that amount yet. So I'm just believing and trusting in Jesus that he will provide. I do have a limited network, so I do appreciate when people are able to give. And it's like, who would have thought that I would have been in a career path where I needed to raise my own salary? But I'm willing to do that because I believe everybody should know Jesus and follow him. And we live in such an exciting time where, there's so many things wrong with the world, but we put our trust and our hope and our confidence in God, and he will sustain us. So I do invite everybody that I meet with to give if they're able to. Some people do one-time gifts each year or annual gifts, and other people support monthly. So if you're able to do that, would be awesome. And then, of course, we give people the opportunity to serve with us. If you want to join us on our adventures, subsisting or sewing, we welcome everybody to do that. The neat thing about this ministry is that we can incorporate our cultural identity into the ministry. So we do sewing like kusbuks. We also do Nikki Back nights, which is our native food nights, or our Fry Bird Fridays, berry picking, fishing, just fun activities that students would be interested in. And then I love to ask people to advocate for me because my network is so limited. I meet with a lot of strangers and just talk about this ministry because it's so important in helping to spread Jesus's kingdom here on earth. So if you know 3 to 5 people who would love to support this ministry and become a ministry partner, feel free to connect us. Here is a QR code of the giving link and my email, and there's a picture of me and my son Duke and my mom. We are hooligan fishing, just one of the fun activities that we do throughout the years. And Kuyana, which is thank you in my language, Inupiaq, for listening to the story and really hearing my presentation. And I just pray that if you are excited that this is happening, if you're called to give, please give. If you're called to pray, please pray. And thank you for your time.